Hi everyone, what is going on? Hope you're all doing well. Today we will be talking about the crypto market, a long-awaited update for our members. Hope you all had a great start of the month of September. We had some great calls inside the group, some great new additions and restructuring around the services and the quality of what we provide around fundamentals, setups, etc. And today we'll be taking a look more in detail of what is happening with the cryptocurrency market. So a lot of you guys have been feeling it's quite confusing what is happening with Bitcoin, with Ethereum. They are not correlated anymore. Are we going to retrace? Are we still on an uptrend? So today we will just be taking a closer look to what are the possible scenarios into this month of September. Okay. So starting out with BTC, so let's jump straight into it. If we take a look at the cycles of the crypto market, I've been in cryptocurrency since 2017, and it's really like the feeling itself, it's always based on human psychology, on human behavior. So once we start getting a feeling that things are going up too fast or that things are slowing down and not showing any type of reaction, it's indeed when the reversals will happen. So we have the example of 2020 euphoria, where price just hit 20k, and then we spent a whole 3 years almost just retracing and accumulating and waiting for the next cycle. So here each blue line represents the halvings of Bitcoin, and the red ones a year after the halving, so 12 months after, and the black one 6 months after this 1 year after the halving. So we can chop down the market and see what is going on in terms of when the price has this event, what happens 1 year after into normally the November, December time of the year when the cryptocurrency market really awakens in a way. So in order for us to really detect what is going on, we need to know that after each halving, of course, will have different effects, and each cycle will be different as cryptocurrencies are. So we really need to take in account what might happen based on previous historical data. So if we take a look at the structure of Bitcoin and the cycles that are playing out, we can clearly see that after that 2020 euphoria, price just came all the way down, creating, if I'm not mistaken, an 84% retrace from the top. So this gives you an idea that we might jump into these highs, but what happens after, it's based on fear. It's based on human emotion. And nowadays, compared to 2017, we have way bigger players in the game. And we need to account for what they are trying to do. What are they seeing that we are not? Of course, like if you're following us since the beginning of the year, we called the top, we called the March, April reversal since September 2020. So we saw that this was the zone where the institutions were loading shorts and were selling their holdings for 3 times their money, because if they loaded up at 20k, of course they loaded up way below, but just from 20k it's 3 times their money, and this gives them really huge buying or selling power against the retail market. So we need always to take that into consideration, and we see that after the last halving, that was in 11th of May 2020, 12 months after, that was the peak of the market. So it's normal that all the miners, all the people that invested before this halving or close enough to that halving are taking profits before the market just finds its new cycle. And that's what we are seeing right now. Price just dumped more than, let's see, more than 50%. So that's quite a huge deal in terms of the volume that is being traded in Bitcoin. And right now it's quite an indecisive zone for Bitcoin, because people don't know if we are to continue going up and maintaining some sort of bull run, or if we are to follow up this movement that happened and continue on coming down. So in terms of technical analysis, we can easily use our retracement tools from top to bottom. That will give us the best indication of where the market is, and we are currently sitting around the 0.618 of Fibonacci retracement. I would call this the first point of contact to see if the market is ready to reverse or not, or to show some signs of slowing down. But in my opinion, it's never the last stop in terms of reversal. So price can easily show us that it's rejecting this area, but we will always have that last push to the upside to clear all the stop losses that will be left behind if we are to move then lower and get back into this range, which was the accumulation range after the big drop. So taking this retail side of the market aspect and psychology, because as everyone knows, the people that are less than 6 months or 1 year into the crypto market, they all have one thing in common, which is they all want to go to the moon, literally. So we need to take all of that into consideration, and we need to know that it's of the big players' intention to liquidate these players, to liquidate these moon boys, to liquidate this retail side of the market before they can prepare for the next move. And in terms of cycle, in a way, and also aligning with what's happening outside the Bitcoin sphere, we need to take in account that Bitcoin is no longer the best cryptocurrency to invest in. It was up until a certain point in the market, and we will take a closer look to the dominance of Bitcoin. But right now, what is the real utility in Bitcoin compared to faster and cheaper cryptocurrencies? We need to take that into account. So if we see that, for example, we dropped 55% from the top, if we are to reject, like we did back in 2017, 80% drop or 82, this will easily bring us to the 12k area. And another thing to take in account is that once we broke that 20k area back in December last year, we haven't quite got a retest of that zone. So we are still prone to come into that region. It's not a lost scenario, and we need to take that into account. In my opinion, we are currently retesting the 50k mark, but I really do see, just add in the daily supply and weekly zones. If we look into the weeklies, weekly itself is already showing some sort of slowing down in the 50k area. Yes, we are continuing to push up because the volume is there, and we might even come all the way up to 55, 60k again. That's not something to reject. But the monthly itself, it's already showing some signs of, okay, we had some buying power and some buying pressure, but we weren't quite able to stay above 50k in a way. So in my opinion, September will really determine the direction up until the end of the year. And I really think that this month of September will be just for week creation. That's why I have these zones marked up. And I really feel that the market will be able to reach this higher spots of 53, 55, even 57k if it's needed, and only then come and close the month below the 50k area, leaving that wick in order to prepare for that reversal into October and November. So the scenario for the bearish move is still in play. There's nothing stopping us from believing that the price can still come from this area up until the 20 or the 12k zone. And this is just based on, if we take a look into how much time the price stayed within this let's say the 60 to 65k region. This was 81 days. So 81 days of pure distribution of price, of pure distribution of holdings and supply from the big players in a way. So this was their accumulation of shorts. So if the price is to come back lower, it's not on their interest to bring price above that zone, and only a break above this 60k area and a really good weekly close above that will give us that buying and that bullish momentum to continue. So if we really take a closer look on what's happening within this region since that 11th of May, that the sell-off happened, we can see that in 2 weeks we completely collapsed more than 50% of the whole price of Bitcoin. So since then it's been, let's see, 98 days, and this only took 14, not even that, 98 days to try and recover the whole range that goes from bottom to high, and we are still halfway through. Let's say price has recovered 68% from the whole 100% move. So we need to take this into consideration. Price is not keeping up with the momentum to bring price with full throttle above the 60k region. So we will keep a closer look into what's happening with the price of Bitcoin. I do feel that the price is going to slow down around this region and make its way back down because of how the Bitcoin itself, the technology itself, is being valued in accordance to the crypto market and the new technologies and the usefulness that we have in today's world. So taking a closer look into the dominance of BTC, we can also look at the monthly, and the last month we really closed from 48% until the 42 region, and with a really bearish and pointing down candle, which means that since, we can also see here, since 2017 December, price hasn't been able to go above the 70% dominance. So you see that Bitcoin has come to its peak. That's why, like, since other coins and altcoins started being developed, of course Bitcoin lost a lot of its power in the crypto market. It was the first currency, it was like the pioneer of the blockchain itself. But in my opinion, its reign has come to an end in a way. Of course, we will still have quite some time until all of this happens, but it's clearly seen in the dominance chart and in Bitcoin's technical chart that the value that it holds compared to the rest of the market, of the crypto market, is losing power. So I do see Bitcoin dominance still coming down and maybe even dropping below the 35% until the end of the year, and giving space for other altcoins to shine. For example, Ethereum, Ripple, Cardano, all these projects that have way more usefulness in today's world. So going back again to the BTC chart, we can see, and this is my guess, that the price is slowing down around this region, that we will use September to grab some liquidity, and after we accumulate correctly, price will come below the 30k area, because there's a lot of retail money sitting below the 30k region that still needs to be collected. And if we take a closer look to the logarithm chart, the algorithm chart itself is showing still a bull run. So I do still expect that it's not that hard for Bitcoin to come all the way to 20k and or even 12k to cover this region over here, because we really didn't have time to retest after a breakout of the 12k region or the 20k region. So a retest of these two regions is still in the cards, just based on Bitcoin losing its power and having that sort of retracement after such a push. Because if you look at it, since Corona last year, the crypto market has made 1600%, and this is just insane numbers that for any institution that was accumulating back in the lows before the halving, they know that this is the this is the zone to sell and to take some profits and to lock some profits in, and the buying power or the selling pressure that they can apply now, they can easily manipulate the markets. So this can easily be just for them to bring price up, induce more retail buys and induce more retail longs in order for them to accumulate their short positions and basically distribute their holdings into expecting this to just go lower, and only then it's a whole narrative that is always, at the end of the day, the goal is to trap the retail side of the market and leave it without anything. And if we take things even further, we can know for sure that crypto market and Bitcoin was used by retailers to kind of escape this no income, no resources lockdown phase of the world. So all the retailers were looking into crypto in order to make some income, to save themselves in a way. And of course the institutions feel this and they won't allow the retailers to make money, and that's the end goal for them as well. So in order to crush the retailers' dreams, there will always be this cleanup of the table. And I do believe that if the price does come all the way to 20k and 12k, this will be enough reason for all the people that got engaged since coronavirus started. They will lose faith in it, and only then, let's say half the people will still trust in the crypto market, but the other half is already out of the game, and only then we can start to expect it to go higher up until the next halving that will occur in 2024. So if we take the cycles just for themselves and what they represent, like we can easily just take the scenario of since the halving in 2016, only after a year price did rally up, and then after 18 months of that happening, only then price was retracing and accumulating and slowing down, and only after the next halving we had the push. So after this 12 months of halving, yes, we are starting to pull down, and we are still pulling up until October, which is also aligns with SEC, XRP, SEC files and stuff like this. We can really expect that this zone will just be used for accumulation of shorts positions, and we will have up until 23, 24 easily a correction up until this zone. So this is something to keep in mind. I'm not completely rejecting the upside potential of Bitcoin, but we really need a weekly close above this region, okay, or a monthly even. So yeah, September will really determine the pace, and up until the end of the year I do want to see a weak creation and the close below 50k in order to run the shorts into October, November, December. That will be all for Bitcoin. I will see you on the next video, guys.